Hey guys, it's Jaleesa here. I'm here to do a video of my favorite reads of what year is this? Of 2017, sorry. I'm just losing it. So far this year I've read 63 books, which is amazing to me because I never thought I would read that many books in a year ever. So the fact that I have already, and the month's not even over, is incredible to me. I'm still reading a couple books, but I wanted to make a video of my top 5 favorite books of the year. I'm doing this now, even though I am reading other books and the month is not over, because I know that sorry, it's my cat. That I don't think anything will top these books. So I can just make this list now. So let me see. You're gonna help me. This is Minion, you guys. These are in no particular order because I honestly, they all were rated the same. So the first book that I picked was Fledgling by Octavia Butler. This was the first book of Octavia Butler's that I had ever read, and I didn't know what to expect when picking this up. I know that people have said that she was great for sci-fi, I believe. So I grabbed it, didn't know what to expect, and I love this so much. So much that I went and I started buying Ms. Butler's books. This book, I don't even know how to describe it. This book is about a young vampire who has amnesia, and she looks like a little girl, and it's basically her story, trying to remember who she is, trying to figure out what happened to her, because when in the beginning of the book she's burned up, and she doesn't know where she doesn't know what she doesn't know anything. She's lost the memory. So this pretty much is a story about that, and it's got a lot of vampires in it, obviously. There were a couple of parts in here. There was a relationship in this book between the main character, Shori, I believe her name was, and somebody else. And at first I was like, oh hell no, like, no. But after a while, I mean, I got over it. It didn't take away from the story, but I mean, at first it did make me uncomfortable, but I got over it, and I just really love this. So if you ever read it, let me know what you think. If you haven't read it, or you're interested in reading it. The next book that I read this year that I really loved was It. I just started reading Stephen King's books maybe last year, so I have a lot of catching up to do because this man has a whole lot of books. I didn't even know, like, it's insane how many books that he has, but he's a great author, so I can understand. But it took me a good while to get through this because I was reading other books as well as It. But I think I don't really know if I need to do a synopsis for this because I think everybody knows what this book is about. But I love this book so much because I love the children. I loved the world, or not the world, but the city they lived in, the descriptions of the city, descriptions of the atmosphere of the city, and how this entity, or it, impacts the whole city, the residents and things like that. I love the children, all of the children. There's one I didn't really care too much about, but whatever. You can't all be winners, I suppose. But I loved all of the children. I loved their relationships. I loved how the story had the past and the present interwoven together, and the way that Stephen King describes the entity itself, describes, I want to say it's like a supernatural descriptions, and it was a good book to me. Like, it sucked me in. I never expected to like it as much as I did. I actually might read it again next year if I have time. Like, it was that good. It was that good. I loved it. The next book that I read this year was American Gods by Neil Gaiman. Oh my gosh, I love this. Like, the character I actually disliked the most in this was the main character. I felt like there could have been more to him, but I still really like this. I love the mythology. I love the storytelling, the humor. I especially like of Mr. Wednesday, him and Shadow's relationship. I love the way that what's his name? Mads. I liked him. I liked all the other gods. I love how they have old gods and new gods versus one another. It's something about that. I don't like with technology. Well, it's not technology so much in the book as it is. I think the one little fat guy. He's like food or gluttony or something. I can't even remember. But I really like this. I read this at the beginning of the year, and it stuck with me. And it did help that there was a TV show for this book. The TV show is great. It's got a lot of blood in it. It follows this actually pretty well. And the reason I said technology is because in the show it's more technology based because we worship our phones. We worship media, which I don't know. I thought that was pretty genius actually to have that kind of be our deity now, because I mean you see it. Everybody's on their phones. Everybody's always stuck on watching TV, and I mean it is a type of worship. So that was the show, but the book is still really good. I'm like rambling. I apologize. On to the next book. The next book was The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. I think everybody has heard of this book, and I really like this book. I really liked Star. I really loved her family. Like, the writing of her family, just how they interact with one another, how they love each other, how they're so protective of one another. It's so real to me. It's a lot like my own family, and I enjoyed that they, the writing of the incident that happens and with her friend Khalil, I believe is his name, and how the media portrayed him, and how his neighborhood or the area, how the people in that area reacted to the situation, how Star reacted to the situation. It was really interesting to see her relationships and with people that weren't her family. And I don't know, this one, especially in the climate we have now with police brutality, this book was needed. And I think more people should read this because it's great. It's great. I might reread this one as well, but I did not expect to like this as much as I did. I just really did not expect to like this as much as I did. And I did. And I'm keeping it forever. It's great. And the last book that I picked, well, technically is 3 books, but I'm gonna count it as one because the copy I have is the 3 books put in one. But that's the Xenogenesis by Octavia Butler, or it's also known as Lilith's Brood, I believe, if you get the newer trilogy, like singlet whatever book. And I love this book as well. I can't remember the title. It's comprised of 3 books. It's Dawn, Adulthood, Rights, and Imago. I can't say the title of it, but this book has pretty much opened up the world of sci-fi to me. I think this is sci-fi. I don't really even know what genre this is, to be honest with you, but it is about aliens interbreeding with humans. Well, humans that are left after we basically destroyed ourselves with nuclear war. And it goes through a couple of a couple generations within the stories. Like on the front, I believe, is I cannot remember her name. Lilith. I don't know how to forget the name Lilith because that's like my favorite girl's name ever. but this is Lilith. But it goes. The first book is about Lilith. The second book is about one of her children, and the third is about one of her other children. But I just really thought this was weird, but a good kind of weird, because I see how much it plays into now. Like, always at war, we're always bombing one another. We're gonna end up killing ourselves off this planet, I believe. But this book talks about that, how we're a hierarchical species. I don't even know if I said that right, but whatever. I think what got me was how they go about intermingling or reproducing with humans, and the offspring is very interesting to me. Just the personalities of these creatures, personalities of the people that are still alive and on the earth, and how you can tell, like, in certain parts where they're so helpless, like the humans feel so helpless because they can't do anything about it. And I don't know. I just really, something about this trilogy really stuck with me. I really love it. I plan on next year reading most of Ms. Butler's books. It's a shame that she passed on so to me so young. Like, she's a fantastic writer, and I just really love this. Just really love it. And I think that is it for my top 5 books of the year. There were other books that I read that were really great, but so far these were the 5 that really stuck out to me. There were a couple others that I read on Kindle that were really good. I can't remember the names of them at the moment, but I had a really good reading year, enough for me to get as many books read as I did. I definitely did not expect, and I could just hope that I continue on with reading as much as I have, as much good books as I have. Yeah, I think that's about it. If you have read any of those books, let me know what you thought about them, or did you like them, did you hate them, or if any of them have interested you, which ones would you like to read? And then until next time, bye.